In today's biased news, a US-led operation attempts to break the stranglehold on Red Sea shipping. Intel signs a lucrative deal with the Israeli apartheid regime, and the European Union cracks down on fast fashion. Operation Prosperity Guardian, or OPG, is a coalition-led initiative spearheaded by the United States Navy with the objective of ensuring the safe passage of international commercial ships through the Red Sea. The operation, set to begin soon, involves the collaboration of allies from Europe, the Middle East, Canada, and Australia. Despite its relatively broad international support, OPG has faced notable non-participation from three crucial NATO countries: Italy, France, and Spain. The primary focus of OPG is to address the threat emanating from Yemen, where Ansar Allah, commonly referred to as the Houthis, have been targeting merchant ships with anti-ship missiles and explosive-laden drones. Their territory in Yemen extends along the Red Sea coast, making the region a critical strategic area. The attacks, initially directed towards Israeli-owned ships, have evolved to include any vessels using Israeli ports and those engaged in trade with Israel. The proposed solution involves the implementation of convoys, a centuries-old principle used effectively in World War II by countries like the UK, Russia, and Malta. In a convoy, commercial ships sail in columns, flanked by fast warships capable of responding to threats. While effective, convoys have limitations, such as their large and cumbersome nature, vulnerability during staging in Red Sea and Gulf areas, and the exposure of ships to potential attacks for extended periods. The Ansar Allah missile threat, demonstrated in the October 19th attack on the USS Carney, raised concerns among naval planners. The prolonged and concentrated nature of the attack underscores the West's call for a proactive response, potentially targeting missile infrastructure on the ground in Yemen. This approach carries political risks, as it may be perceived as the West officially entering the Gaza war on the side of Israel. The United States, cautious of potential escalation, has engaged with regional powers and emphasized its desire to avoid lighting any additional fuses. However, the US faces a delicate balancing act. Inaction could lead to the closure of the Red Sea route, causing significant economic damage, while half measures, such as escorting convoys without attacking missile sites, may prove insufficient. Acknowledging the complex dilemma, France, Italy, and Spain have chosen a cautious approach, opting to unilaterally deploy frigates to the Red Sea to protect the ships of their respective nations. This strategic move allows them to distance themselves from potential escalation and place responsibility squarely on the United States should military intervention become necessary. The only real solution to this crisis is stopping the Gaza genocide, which would in turn very likely lead to the cessation of military actions by Ansar Allah. Intel and the Israeli regime have confirmed plans to build a $25 billion chip-making factory in the south of Israel, marking the largest investment in the country's history. The factory will be an expansion of Intel's existing chip-making plant, located about 16 miles northeast of Gaza, the world's largest open-air prison camp and the site of ongoing ethnic cleansing. The Israeli government will provide a grant of $3.2 billion for the project, and Intel has committed to buying $16.6 billion worth of goods and services from Israeli suppliers over the next decade. Intel's choice to proceed with this investment, which will likely fund the very same tools used to massacre the Palestinian population, has put such a bloody stain on its reputation that it should be boycotted by every self-respecting person who is able to do so. In today's lightning round, according to the Gaza Ministry of Health, at least 20,915 Palestinians have been killed in Gaza. About 70% of those killed are said to be women and children. The Kremlin announced that 90% of Russia's crude oil exports this year have been to India and China, highlighting successful efforts to bypass Western sanctions amid the Ukraine conflict. They mentioned that this redirection of trade had begun before the invasion, but accelerated due to US and EU sanctions. Russian oil exports to EU members have decreased to around 4 to 5%. While China's share has grown to 45 to 50%. Notably, India has become a rapidly growing market, with a share of 40% in just 2 years. Officials also mentioned that Russian oil and gas revenues for the year are expected to be similar to 2021, reaching almost 9 trillion rubles, or $98 billion, with Moscow remaining open to other buyers, including Latin American, African, and Asia-Pacific countries. The Communist Party of China commemorated the 130th anniversary of Mao Zedong's birth with a symposium. In a speech, Xi Jinping emphasized the importance of continuing Mao's legacy, building a stronger China, and pursuing Chinese modernization. Xi highlighted Mao's contributions and stressed the need to prevent a Taiwan secession, uphold the One China principle, and promote peaceful development. The event was attended by top party cadres, who paid respects to Mao at the Chairman Mao Memorial Hall. The White House has declined to intervene in the U.S. International Trade Commission's ruling that prevents Apple from selling certain models, including the Apple Watch Series 9 and Apple Watch Ultra 2, due to patent violations. The decision, confirmed by the Office of U.S. Trade Representative Katherine Tai, means that the ban on selling these models has become final as of December 26, 2023. Apple had already pulled the effective watch models from its online store. And in positive news for the day, the European Union has implemented a ban on the destruction of unsold clothes and footwear, with big retailers given 2 years to comply and small and medium enterprises up to 6 years. The measure is part of a broader sustainability initiative aimed at addressing premature and planned obsolescence and promoting products that are easier to repair and upgrade. MEP Alessandra Moretti, who led the legislation, emphasized the shift away from the take, make, dispose model, envisioning a future where sustainable products become the norm, enabling consumers to make environmentally conscious choices while shopping. The ban is expected to influence the practices of fast fashion manufacturers. That's all for today. We'll be back on Monday with more news. If you appreciate the work we're doing, consider becoming a patron to support the show. All patrons get early access to analysis episodes, as well as an audio version of the news. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.